Welcome back to CNN State of the Union. I'm Jake Tapper. President Trump spent most of the week selling his new tax plan, calling it a miracle for the middle class and suggesting the plan will garner bipartisan support in Congress.
I truly believe that many Democrats want to support our plan, and with enough encouragement from the American people, they will find the courage to do what is right for our great country.
But progressive leaders such as Senator Bernie Sanders are slamming the proposal, calling it, quote, morally repugnant. Senator Sanders joins us now from his home state of Vermont. Senator Sanders, I'll get to taxes in just a minute, but first I want to ask you about Puerto Rico. What did you make of President Trump tweeting that Puerto Ricans, quote, want everything to be done for them?
You know, speaking from his fancy golf club, playing golf with his billionaire friends, attacking the mayor of San Juan, who is struggling to bring electricity to the island, food to the island, water to the island, gas to the island. That is just, it is unspeakable. And I don't know what world Trump is living in. People in Puerto Rico are suffering one of the worst disasters in the history of that island. We have got to do everything we can to help them. We all have got to remember the people of Puerto Rico are American citizens, entitled to the same help as the people of any other community in America.
The White House denies it, but there are a lot of critics who say that race or ethnicity might be playing a factor here. What do you think?
Well, look, given the president's history on race, given the fact that he, a few months ago, told us that there were good people on both sides when neo-Nazis were marching in Charlottesville, yeah, I think we have a right to be suspect that he is treating the people of Puerto Rico in a different way than he has treated the people of Texas or Florida.
Let's turn to the president's tax plan. The president wants to double the standard deduction so that a married couple won't pay any taxes on the first $24,000 of income. Is that a provision of the president's tax plan that you might be able to support?
It is. But overall, I just listened to Mr. Mulvaney, who says that nobody can make an analysis long-term of what this tax proposal does. He's wrong. The Tax Policy Institute has said that 80%, Jake, at the end of 10 years, 80% of the benefits will go to the top 1%. So it's not just that they want to repeal the estate tax, which benefits only the top 0.2%. Families like the Walton family or the Koch brothers family will receive tens and tens of billions of dollars in tax breaks. For Trump to go on television and say, oh, this doesn't benefit the wealthy is absolutely outrageous. Of course it benefits the wealthy. And of course it benefits large multinational corporations. Right now, we are living in a moment of massive income and wealth inequality. The very, very rich are getting richer. Middle class is shrinking. What this tax proposal does is not only give huge tax breaks to the wealthy and large corporations, it cuts Medicare by $450 billion. Some listeners, some viewers may remember the Trump campaign. Oh, I'm not going to touch Medicare. $450 billion cut in Medicare, $1 trillion cut in Medicaid. This is the Robin Hood principle in reverse. Trump is taking from the middle class and working families in order to give huge tax breaks to the people on top. It is unacceptable, and we're going to fight it as hard as we can.
The president and Mick Mulvaney, the budget director, say that the middle class will get a huge tax cut, that's where the focus is going to be. You would oppose that bill if there are also benefits to the wealthy as well? What's the cutoff point beyond which you think...
Well, there's no huge...
Yeah, go ahead.
It is possible that some people, you know, depending on the standard deduction and depending on the earned income tax credit and how many children you have in your family, it is possible that some middle-class families may make some gains. But when you have a nonpartisan group telling us that at the end of 10 years, 80% of the benefits go to the top 1%, when there are massive cuts in health care and in education and programs desperately needed by the working people of this country, no, the framework of this proposal is not something we can support. The truth is, right now, that the wealthiest people in this country are doing phenomenally well, and it is time we ask them to start paying their fair share of taxes, not give them tax breaks in order to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and other important programs.
Senator Sanders, stick around. We have much more to talk to you about, including a brand new executive order on health care that President Trump says he's probably going to sign. Can Senator Sanders get behind that? Stay with us. Welcome back to CNN State of the Union. I'm Jake Tapper, and we're back with independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator, let's turn to the president's ongoing feud with NFL players who take a knee during the national anthem. Last night, President Trump tweeted, quote, "Very important that NFL players stand tomorrow and always for the playing of our national anthem, respect our flag and our country." I want to show you a new poll from CNN. By a 49% to 43% margin, voters do think that NFL players are doing the wrong thing when they kneel during the national anthem. You've urged the Democratic Party to go beyond identity politics. On this NFL issue, do you worry the Democratic leaders might be falling into some sort of a trap set by the president?
You know, Jake, let's not worry about the politics of what's going on. Let's talk about why players are doing what they're doing, and that is that we have a real crisis in criminal justice in this country. The United States of America has more people in jail than any other major country on earth. We have communities now where kids are being picked up for smoking marijuana, getting police records, which makes it difficult for them to get the jobs that they need. So I think what the players are talking about is the need for criminal justice reform, the need for police department reform. They have the right to make that point, and I appreciate their standing up for what they believe.
Let's turn to health care. President Trump said he will probably sign an executive order next week allowing people to purchase health insurance across state lines. The president says he believes that would lower costs. Would you support this move?
No, I don't think I would. But right now, what the president has got to do is to stop sabotaging the Affordable Care Act. He has cut back on funding for navigators to help people get into the exchanges. He has cut back on advertising, explaining to people what their health care options are. Look, Jake, I was really proud that we were able to do what the American people wanted in defeating the disastrous Republican proposal, which would have thrown 30 million Americans off of the health insurance they currently have. 30 million Americans. What we should be doing now, and what I would hope Trump would be doing, is during the campaign, he talked about the high cost of prescription drugs, and he was right. Pharmaceutical industry is ripping off the American people. But since he has been elected, I haven't heard one word. Let us lower the cost of prescription drugs in America. Let us also go forward short term in making sure that people have a public option in every state in the country if they're not happy with what private insurance companies are providing them. A public option, in many cases, could be less expensive with comprehensive health care. Long term, in my view, we have got to join the rest of the industrialized world, guarantee health care to all people as a right, not a privilege, and end the absurdity of paying twice as much per capita as any other major country on earth, while the insurance companies and the drug companies make huge profits. That's where we have to go long term.
Democratic Senator Bob Menendez is facing corruption charges in New Jersey. I want to show you a new poll from Suffolk University, USA Today. It finds that 84% of the people in New Jersey would want Menendez to resign if he's convicted. Where do you come down on this? If Senator Menendez is convicted, should he resign immediately?
You know, I think in this country, people are entitled to due process. I'm not into speculating what if. That will be Menendez's decision. He has not been convicted. Let the process take its course. You know, in America, that's what it's about. You have a trial, and people, the jury makes its decision. They have not made their decision. So I think it's a little bit premature to be talking about that.
Senator Sanders, always good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A new scene.